Good afternoon, and welcome to Council Rock High School North's graduation for the class of 2019. At this time, would everyone please rise and join me for the singing of our national anthem, which will be followed by a moment of silence. Please be seated. I'm Susan McCarthy, principal of Council Rock High School North. I would like to begin our program by thanking the members of the symphonic, marching, and concert bands, as well as the members of the choir ensemble. The people on the stage with me this afternoon include Dr. Robert Frazier, Superintendent of Schools, as well as members of the Council Rock Board of School Directors, Mr. Andy Block, President, Mr. Mark Bilick, Vice President, Ms. Denise Brooks, Mr. Joseph Hidalgo, Ms. Kristen Marcel, Ms. Marianne McKee, Mr. Ed Salmon, Mr. Edward Tate, and Dr. Michael Thorwart. Soon joining me on stage will be Ms. Josie Lee and Ms. Tara McQuiggan, student speakers, followed by Ms. Josefina Echeverria, class president. In addition, I'm very happy to welcome members of the faculty of Council Rock High School North, who I would like to personally thank, having witnessed firsthand their great efforts to prepare our graduates to experience the great successes that they deserve. I also welcome faculty members from our elementary and middle sending schools, including Churchville, Goodnoe, Hillcrest, Holland, Newtown, Richboro, Rolling Hills, Saw-Finestone, Maureen M. Welch, and Wrightstown Elementary Schools, as well as Newtown, Holland, and Richboro Middle Schools. By including educators of all levels in our ceremony, we recognize that no student will reach graduation day unless there is a strong educational foundation upon which to build. This afternoon, I therefore welcome parents, guardians, grandparents, relatives, friends, faculty, past and present, administrators, school board members, and graduates to Council Rock High School North's graduation ceremony for the class of 2019, the 17th class to be graduating from Council Rock High School North. Seated before you are 437 young men and women who have achieved graduate status at Council Rock High School North. Although they have earned the necessary credits to be graduating this afternoon, they have accomplished so much more. Within this class are students who have been recognized locally, statewide, and nationally for achievement in academics, athletics, the visual and performing arts, and community service. Under the guidance of our high school faculty, they have successfully met all the challenges presented to them. The students in the class of 2019 have individually and collectively enhanced Council Rock High School North's reputation for excellence and established positive direction for the future classes of our high school. In particular, this is a class that enjoys the distinction of having 12 distinguished scholars and 32 scholars, and remarkably 26 National Merit Scholars. To parents and guardians of our students, I would like to recognize the essential support that you have provided to your son or daughter with graduation as the culminating event. This afternoon, we at Council Rock High School North share your pride in honoring these young men and women in this rite of passage to adulthood. At this time, I would like to introduce Ms. Diana Morris-Bauer and Mr. Don Foster to introduce to you individually our 2019 graduates.
The distinguished scholars for the class of 2019. Jake M. Cohen. Aparna Dev. Marissa Faith Shu. Frank Y. Kim. Josie H. Lee. Casey Liang. Abigail Marin Lustig. Shiva Perry. Allison Brooke Reinhardt. Jaden Rose Schoenfeld. Anna Tian Ying Zito. Isha Rajesh Tekor.
The class of 2019 officers. Josefina Soledad Echevarria, President and Commencement Speaker. Nibras Uddin Khan, Vice President. Tara Elizabeth McGuigan, Secretary and Commencement Speaker. Laura Ann Ledbetter, Treasurer. Mara Glenn Haas, Public Relations. Olivia Corina Bointello, Student Executive Board President. Caroline Catherine McElvogue, Student Executive Board Secretary. Sarah Nicole Zafar, Student Executive Board Public Relations. Nathan Joseph Abbey.
Jessica Rush Leaning.
Cullen James Abrahamson.
Mara Lenti.
Jillian Hope Adams.
Cooper LeGrand Rowe Lipsky.
Julia Jolie Adams.
Ryan Locke.
Sumer Alimam.
Olivia Nicole Lockwood.
Brandon Scott Aliborn.
Lillian Ann Logan.
Stephen Clarence Allen.
Edward Long III.
Garrett Charles Alt.
Dory Allen Lopez.
Kiara Mina Alvarez.
Parker Ray Luff.
Bhavana Ambatpudi.
Olivia Hope Lynch.
Gonzalo Appiani.
Hannah Rose Matat.
Nicole Adriana Arita.
Elaine Marie Meisel.
Marco A. Badalamenti.
Emily Kayla Marcus.
Michael Christopher Bucklie Jr.
Tyler David Marlowe.
Julia Marie Bailey.
Matthew Anthony Paul Marazzo.
Dana Mackenzie Bandurek.
Donovan Thomas Marte.
Hannah Rebecca Baronier.
Christopher Chase Martindale.
Kylie Amber Barris.
Bailey H. Matthews.
Hannah Arsenia Barsky.
Jenna Rose McCaffrey.
Angela Marie Batchelor.
Michael James McCoy.
Daniel Joseph Bauer.
Catherine Grace McCullough.
Drake Alexander Bayard.
Madison Winter McDonald.
Brendan Nicholas Becker.
Nicole Ann McNamara.
Lauren Elizabeth Begg.
Hannah Lee McNinch.
Amber Marie Benson.
Brandon Keith Michichi.
Samantha Grace Beverly.
Emma Nicole Miley.
Tylan Jean Bichachioglu.
Eric John Miller.
Delaney Eileen Billick.
Paula Ann Miller.
Zachary Thomas Birkbeck.
Connor James Milligan.
Anna Alexandra Berman.
Nicole Sidney Millman.
Juliana Maria Bella Black.
Sarah Gabrielle Millman.
Sydney Alexandra Bloom.
Anthony J. Marak.
Akil Bolasetti.
David Bennett Mishak Jr.
Christian Mark Boltner.
Lauren Alexandra Mish.
Isabella Rose Bonnet.
Jessica Lee Milkvey.
Winston Clark Bonwell.
Danny M. Moonen.
Alyssa Mary Booth.
Connor Michael Mooney Moore.
Emily Grace Booth.
Colleen Miller.
Alexandra Mariana Bove.
Connor Joseph Moran.
Annabelle Sharata Boyd.
Jonah Carl Morris.
Jacob Alexander Boyd.
Julia Anna Morrissey.
Olivia Claire Boyle.
Matthew Rowe Mullen.
Michael James Bracy.
Stormy Alessandra Mullins.
Lauren Elizabeth Marie Bracy.
Riley Elizabeth Murphy.
Lucy Helen Breithaupt.
Nicholas Ryan Myers.
Katerina Brilleman.
James Connor Myers.
Remy Nicole Breutman.
Noah Edward Myers.
Joseph L. Brooks.
Sherlyn Angel Nirainen.
Bridget Mary Burke.
Max Thomas Natikia.
Jessica Paige Booten.
Matthew Robert Nenner.
Elisa Bialski.
Maithri Nimagata.
Matthew Michael Byrne.
Ryan Hunter Nissenbaum.
Luca Harding Cacciatore,
Colin Christian Nomis.
Ryan Patrick Callahan,
Julia Mary Nucero.
Ashley Taylor Callie,
Madison Nicole Nuska.
Bradley David Carbonara Sloan,
Nathan Riley Oberhow.
Leah Arlene Cerami,
Mackenzie Elise O'Brien.
Dylan Frederick Sesiak,
Kirsten Nicole O'Donnell.
Anne Catherine Chalupa,
James John O'Donnell.
Nicholas Arthur Chan,
Craig Stephen Oros.
Lena Joyi Che,
Christopher Edward Orr.
Noah J. Cho,
Kelly Elizabeth Orr.
Lisa Shorna,
Rebecca Jane Osterman.
Emily Aurora Clark,
Andrew Robert Ott.
Cameron N. Cohen,
Lauren Nicole Otto.
Max A. Cohen,
Shira Natalie Palmer.
Weston Reed Cohen,
Audrey Marie Parisian.
Nicholas Brian Coolcat,
Sydney Peasman.
Joshua Harrison Colton,
Jake H. Paul.
Paige Noel Colombo,
Alexandra Shirley Potekis.
Seth Christian Connors,
Catherine S. Perdikis.
Rachel Irene Cook,
Isaac Shane Pereira.
Michael Vito Casalino,
Griffin Daniel Peterson.
Nicholas F. Crane,
Alexa Ray Petalilo.
Katia Lou Crawford,
Angela Nicole Petrucci.
Devin Elizabeth Curtis,
Brandon James Pfister.
James Michael Curtis,
Noah D. Fair.
Mason J. Danek,
Laura Immaculada Platero.
Sean Patrick Darcy,
Alexandra Rema Pekosian.
Andrew Peter Darius,
Cameron Megan Polinsky.
Lindsay Victoria Davin,
Griffin M. Popescu.
Kyle David Deary,
Melissa Nicole Portnoy.
Nicholas Albert Desitel,
Corinne Lane Donaldson Pressing.
Elicia Uliana Detweiler,
Shakti P. Ramnath.
Carly Elizabeth D. Silvestro,
Jesse Q. Randolph.
Aaliyah Angel Diaz,
Robert Anthony Ranelli II.
Clayton David James DeChico,
Rachel Hope Rapine.
Benjamin S. Dickinson,
Erin Kate Reevy.
Hope Lynn DeJulia,
Anna Lydia Ridkadim.
Ajay Dinakar,
Lily Ann Reese.
Jason William Dalek Jr.,
Andrew Ryder.
Christopher D. Dorshow,
William Lewis Ritter.
James Michael Drew,
John Joseph Roach IV.
Jillian Quinn Drotar,
Nicole Robbins.
Samantha Maria Duckworth,
Amanda Rodriguez Figueroa.
James Robert Duffy,
Stephen Tavares Rossler.
Carly Mary Duggan.
Annabelle Popkin Roth.
Eric Christopher Dune.
Juliana Danielle Rothenberg.
Vitas Andanas Duncha.
Lauren Madison Rothschild.
Mallory Jane Durkin.
Troy Joseph Rothstein.
Mia Elizabeth Durkin.
Jacqueline Maria Rounseville.
Parker Daniel Ellen.
Tyler J. Rushing.
Ifena Chukwadubam Aquinem.
Emma Katrin Sable.
Garrett James Elder.
Liam Samuel Safran.
Miles Jacob Elgart.
Veer Kumar Sahu.
Caroline Grace Erlinson.
Zachary Harrison Safer.
Blake Tillman Eshelman.
Hannah Grace Samuel.
Eric J. Estat.
Daniel Angel Santiago.
Daniel J. Eugene.
Oleg Sapranenko.
David J. Eugene.
Caitlin Elizabeth Sargent.
Jeremy B. Fash.
Rebecca Lynn Sawaya.
Julia Fedeko.
Brett Harrison Schaefer.
Joseph Terrell Ferenc.
Matthew Avery Schaefer.
Thomas Carmen Filippo.
Cole Elias Schenkman.
Sean P. Finneyfrock.
Aiden B. Schlafman.
Dylan Blake Fisher.
Haley Ann Schlechterer.
Joshua Samuel Fisher.
Christian P. Schmidt.
Claire Campbell Fishman.
Tara Ann Schmidt.
Alessandro Anthony Fisella.
Jillian K. Schweizer.
Nicholas Glenn Forsyth.
Paige Delaney Seasock.
Natalie Rose Frey.
Chelsea Faye Siegel.
Amanda Marie Fricker.
Abigail Jacqueline Seipel.
Olivia E. Galdi.
John Matthew Chilinsky.
Jordan Blair Galing.
Philip Gregory Shapiro.
James Alexander Gallagher.
Justin Spencer Shapiro.
John Davis Gallagher.
Samantha Rose Shapiro.
Parker Galley.
Dennis F. Shields.
Anna Rose Gambesha.
Eitan Solomon Shemesh.
Gerald George Genshieski III.
Juliana Catherine Shields.
Jarrett Maxwell Hibbs.
Artur Schnauderman.
Julia Garashko.
Daniel Yang Shu.
Alexander Andre Gosek.
Richard Ira Sichel III.
Richard Haig Galazian III.
Vaibhav Sinha.
Benjamin John Green.
Mackenzie Taylor Sivard.
Harrison William Green.
Patrick Robert Slavchev.
Paige E. Gregg.
Tucker Andrew Smith.
Peyton Elizabeth Grogan.
Dalton J. Smerrill.
Lindsay A. Gromlich.
Peter Joseph Sedano.
Mallory Elizabeth Grossman.
Madeline Nicole Summer.
Thomas James Grube.
Stephen Joseph Spoler.
Christopher Joseph Haas.
Ryan Stacy Stalker.
Angelina Joy Fida Hachus.
Robert Antonio Steffi.
Maxwell Christopher Hager.
Ethan M. Stein.
Aaliyah Nicole Hawthorne.
Amanda Maria Stone.
Megan Willow Hayes Fisher.
Samantha Faye Stover.
Margaret Rose Healy.
Olivia Marie Sulewski.
Lauren Elizabeth Hentz.
Andrew David Sullivan.
Margaret Lee Hubeck.
Caroline Hannah Sundell.
Ashley Taylor Hewitt.
Aiden Michael Sweeney.
Caitlin Ann Hill.
Ella Jane Sabo.
Jeffrey Ryan Hogue.
Anita Daniela Soki.
Reese William Hollister.
Zara Rose Tabakin.
Zachary Holman.
Isabel Ashley Tabor.
Emma Holmes.
Lindsay Catherine Tamero.
Eric Jensen Holst.
Nicholas V. Tangrady.
Daniel James Hopkins.
Anthony Daniel Tata.
Bozenna Ron.
Beckett Oakley Thompson.
Olivia Ann Huddy.
Mia Alexis Tomlinson.
Bridget Elizabeth Hughes.
Michael Joseph Toth.
Juliana Celine Humple.
Harrison Max Dreeman.
Haley Ann Inverso.
Hannah Margaret Trilling.
Nicole Hall Jackson.
Valerie Nicole Ulanowski.
Nolan Stanworth Jackson.
John Anthony Vanderslice.
Tyke B. Jackson.
Michael J. Verla.
Brandon Patrick Jennings.
Cole Liberato Verderame.
Alicia S. Javeri.
Giovanni Versace.
Ann Patricia Johnson.
Adam Robert Vinglas.
Ashton Robert Johnson.
Alexandra Grace Vatsinis.
Morgan Lynn Johnson.
Kyle Patrick Wagner.
Tessa Lee Jordan.
Finley Scott Walden.
John Dennis Joseph.
Rebecca Susan Wallace.
John Thomas Joseph.
Jacqueline Kate Wallstrom.
Ali Kaleem.
Jason Chen Wong.
Tae Soo Khan.
Nicole Christy Reslenko.
Jonathan Scott Kane.
Thomas Edward Weed.
Riley E. Campner.
Chloe Faith Weissman.
Esther Cardos.
Caitlin Rose Whiteley.
Nicholas S. Karpovich.
Charles Robert Wilson.
Robert Allen K. Jr.
Ethan Jack Wisatsik.
Mohammed Abed Kayumi.
Davis James Wanovich.
Colleen Marie Kearney.
Eric Robert Woodhead.
Hunter Thomas Keene.
Christopher John Worthington.
Ashley Marie Kelly.
Shane Anthony Wright.
Devin Lynn Kelly.
Jonathan Yui Joe Cheong.
Olivia Lynn Kerner.
Matthew Thomas Yanzak.
Skylar Noel Kerr.
Austin Shulun Yim.
Jenna Lee Kantsian.
Carly Marie Yoder.
Mariam Karazi.
Connie Suhyun Yoon.
Kyle Jacob Cazales.
Brooke Ashley Young.
Jack Gerard Kiefer.
Morgan Alexa Young.
Alexander Jordan Kiefer.
Olivia Arden Young.
Matthew Michael Kinney.
Saja M. Youssef.
Blake Edward Kirschner.
Trevor Covington Zemzik.
Dylan J. Clevin.
Zhang Balon.
Madeline Grace Knapp.
William Zhang.
Brooke Marie Cook.
Margaret Megan Chung.
Abby Jean Kolar.
Jacob Shane Zinman.
Megan Ruth Kaunurko.
Jonathan Thomas Zlock.
Karen Jean Kraft.
Corey Lynn Zlock.
Nicholas Krischer.
Kira Marie Zlock.
Jake Kukowski.
Jacob Paul Zlotshore.
Rebecca H. Lamb.
Alexa Jade Zubler.
Christina Lambros. Daniela Bernhardt Lang. Marie Yoriana Larunas. Aiden Alexander Locke. Isabel Brooke Levine.
I present to you the class of 2019. Before continuing our program, I would also like to recognize those brave young graduates from the class of 2019 who are ready to stand up for freedom and democracy in an increasingly turbulent world. Would all students enlisting in the armed services, entering an ROTC program, or attending one of these service academies please rise for acknowledgement? At this time, would all please rise and join us in singing Council Rock's alma mater, led by Council Rock High School's choir ensemble. Thank you. Be seated. I would like to, at this time, introduce our first student speaker, Ms. Tara McQuiggan, whose speech is entitled Connections.
Faculty, parents, friends, loved ones, class of 2019. We are Generation Z, born at the dawn of the new millennium. As Generation Z, we are global, social, visual, and technological, the most connected, educated, and sophisticated generation. Let's look at our journey. We won't remember our time at North by the grades we earned. We will remember freshman year English with Mr. Streitel, our first blue and white night, in the gym, of course, when the Eagles won the Super Bowl, Disney, and most importantly, this special day. We'll remember that love takes many forms and that at our core, we all want the same things: to be loved, accepted, and respected, connected to the people around us. We are bound by many shared experiences and how together we created our North community. We learned the value of belonging to something bigger than ourselves. We evolved as individuals through support from parents, faculty, and fellow students. We've had mentors and role models among each group. We've seen courage and compassion through real-life examples. We've experienced the unconditional love from our parents. We witnessed teachers exhibit passion for the vocation for us to emulate. From each other, we learned friendship. We learned everyone has a compelling story if you simply take the time to listen. We learned that kindness is the greatest currency of life. The most important lesson I have learned is that the bonds we form make life's journey worthwhile. In a world that has the capacity to be so connected, I have often felt disconnected. It is so easy to get lost in my cell phone and in the alternate universe that is technology. The challenge ahead is that social fragmentation is growing. Everywhere, people are plugged in. People in public settings decide to be alone, staring at their laptop. Families in restaurants are all on their phones instead of enjoying each other's company. We text rather than talk. We are supposed to be the most connected generation, but are we actually connecting to each other? As we move on in the next step of our lives, I challenge all of us to think about how to become more connected. For in this life, we are nothing without the connections we make with those around us. I have grown and thrived as a result of the connections created at this high school. These past 4 years have been filled with the highs of friendship, love, and self-discovery, and the lows of loss, political divide, and disappointment. But most importantly, these 4 years have taught us the importance of connection. I want you all to go through the next chapter of your life looking through a new lens. Reject the isolationism that technology creates. Prioritize connections with people. Reach out and learn the stories of the people in your life. Create meaning and connection through actual conversation. Use the time with people, especially your friends and your family, to the fullest. All good things must come to an end, both our time together and this speech. Thank you all for connecting with me in these past 4 years. It has been an absolute honor. I know that all of our futures are filled with endless possibilities as long as we recognize the power of connections. Thank you.
Our next student speaker is Ms. Josie Lee, whose speech is entitled, All I Ever Really Needed to Know I Learned in Kindergarten and Council Rock North.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to welcome families, alumni, and friends in congratulating the CRN class of 2019. Fellow seniors, think about how far we've come, individually and as a class. Freshman year felt like yesterday when we would patiently wait for 7:15 to go upstairs and sit in first period until school started. Now, a typical senior can be seen strolling into school at 7:33 with a Starbucks receipt as a first period pass. Things have definitely changed. We've come to understand complex topics like balancing chemical equations or citing with MLA. Yet we've also come to understand the simpler things, like how knocking over your hydro flask will annoy your teachers. These basic concepts remind me of my favorite poem titled, "All I Ever Really Need to Know I Learned in Kindergarten" by Robert Fulghum. Now that we are graduating high school, I think it's only appropriate to give my SparkNotes interpretation of the poem as a CRN student. Lesson 1. When you go out into the world, watch for traffic, hold hands, and stick together. In kindergarten, we learn to hold our hands with one another when crossing the street. While we don't physically link up to stay safe anymore, we still take our next steps together. Whether it's sharing the English vocab Quizlet or celebrating each other's college acceptances, we have learned that life is easier with a little help from one another. Lesson 2, wash your hands before you eat. We, as a class, are resilient. We've survived the most frigid winters threatening to take away our spring breaks and uncontrollable floods blocking the path to the skate park. But nothing can compare to our resilience against the North Plague and the norovirus. We've learned to wash our hands. Lesson 3, live a balanced life. Learn some and think some and draw and paint and play some every day. These past 4 years haven't been easy. There were times, and in order to stay awake for the 5th test you had that day, you drank so much coffee that you could flood the 2nd floor east again. It's been hard for teachers too. In the winter, most don't see the light of day. They come to school, it's dark. They leave, and yes, it's dark. The bottom line is that we never stopped working hard. And through this, we figured out what made us happy and fulfilled. We found friendship and school spirit through blue and white nights, football games, proms, rockathons, spirit weeks, and Disney. With the support of our family and teachers, we live by the motto, work hard, play hard. Lesson 4, remember the little seed in the plastic cup where the roots go down and the plant goes up. I know most of us are guilty of saying, I can't wait to get out of here. I think most of us are in such a hurry to move on that we forget that we don't have to completely uproot ourselves from Council Rock North. We are like the little seed in the plastic cup. When we grow, our roots branch out to multiple places. CRN is our home, and remembering where we came from, our roots, can help us figure out who we will be in the future. Now, here we sit, a testament to our perseverance, Council Rock pride, and commitment to academic excellence. As we part ways, I know that because we are all different, the many paths we will take will be diverse. But I only ask you to do this. Take what we've learned from CRN and kindergarten and apply it to your future as you do what makes you happy. Congrats again, class of 2019.
And our third speaker this afternoon is Ms. Josefina Echeverria, class of 2019 president, whose speech is entitled Distant Dream Fulfilled.
I'd like to take this moment to recognize the efforts of parents, grandparents, brothers, sisters, partners, and friends who have spent years providing support and listening to our graduates complain about grades, teachers, homework, and test scores. Thank you to the staff and administration for listening to the soon-to-be graduates complain about parking, the mascot, the color of our graduation gowns, and so much more. As seniors, we've always had the end goal of graduation in sight, the once distant dream of our freshman year. We have so many memories to look back upon. Think back to elementary school and the thrill of finding out that pizza dunkers were served for lunch, or finally reaching the last day of your countdown for field day. Then, your greatest stress was getting ready for your father-daughter dance, and your greatest complaint was performing at the mandatory choir concerts. Think back to your first year in middle school. Everyone knew everything about everybody. You grew apart from your elementary school friends. The strong scent of Axe body spray met you every time you walked past the gym locker rooms. You heard the FitnessGram pacer test for the first time. Then high school, greeted by seniors who are at least a head taller than you and getting lost in the hallways on your first day. Think back to the feeling of jumping into the freezing water for your first swim class, or the thrill of getting on the team, or walking into Mr. Streitel's classroom, having pulled an all-nighter to frantically finish your Romeo and Juliet RP, or schmoop the last few chapters of Jane Eyre. You took the dreaded Keystone sophomore year, you finally got to sleep in on Keystone days junior years. Regardless of your circumstances, we've all grown over the past few years, made new friends, endured hardships in our families, connected with teachers and staff, gone to countless formals, attended art shows, participated in sports activities, supported Blue and White Nights, talent shows, and Mr. Sheeran's. We finally became seniors, waiting for freshmen to be dropped off by their parents when you're already 3 minutes late to class, experiencing rejection from our first or second choice colleges, longing for another late PLC morning, returning to school with posters and depression. Now, we join each other as graduates, having endured the stress of choosing the right college or right path, roommate flirting, and knowing we won't be spending days with classmates, most of whom we've known since elementary school. Well, unless you're going to Penn State. Class of 2019, we made it to the moment that's been on the horizon since elementary school, and no matter where you'll be next year or what you'll be studying, I want to wish each and every one of you success in whatever endeavors you choose to pursue. Thank you.
It is now my pleasure to introduce Dr. Robert Frazier, Council Rock School District Superintendent of Schools.
Thank you, and thank you, Ms. McCarthy. In just a moment, I'm going to introduce Mr. Andy Block, President of the Council Rock Board of School Directors. But before I do so, it is with enthusiasm that I tell you that the students seated before us here this afternoon, the class of 2019, has met all of the requirements for graduation as set forth by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and by the Board of School Directors of the Council Rock School District. Mr. Block.
Y'all ready? Thank you, Dr. Frazier. Having met the requirements as set forth by the Board of Directors of the Council Rock School District and the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, I confer upon each of you a diploma recognizing your graduate status. Please move your tassel from the right side of your cap to the left. I now pronounce you graduates of Council Rock High School North, our class of 2019.
Before concluding, I would like to highlight the people who've worked very closely with the class of 2019, Mr. Robert Finley, Senior Class Principal, and Ms. Amy Lafferty and Mr. Tim Rothrock, Senior Class Advisors. This concludes the graduation ceremony for Council Rock High School North class of 2019. Thank you for joining us.